Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? It's Nate Almighty, and I am back with another Power Book 4 Force Season 3 Theory and Prediction video, and we are going to do another ghetto reaction video. This will be to the brother Getting in How I Live video that he dropped yesterday, which is titled Gary Lennon Teases Return of OG Character and Major Reveal in Power Book 4 Force Season 3. Is he alluding to Ghost being revealed? Whoever this Gary Lennon character is. Is it Ghost? Is it somebody else who Tommy knows from the past? Let's see what Getting How I Live is talking about, and I will react to this in real time. This video is going to be another banger. Without further ado, let's get to it. Like I said, credit goes to the Getting It How I Live YouTube channel. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Let's go.
Everybody, with the long delay between Force Season 2 and Season 3,
very damn long. They're disrespectful.
One storyline that a lot of people might have forgotten about is the return of an OG power character in Force Season 3, teased by Force showrunner Gary Lennon in an interview with TheMessenger.com at the conclusion of Season 2 back in 2023.
Okay.
And in this interview, Lennon said, a couple times throughout the season, it was brought to me, do you want so-and-so to come back? Do you want so-and-so to be in this? And Lennon said, and I was like, no. I think one of the weaknesses of the first season was that there were too many stories to follow, too many characters, and I wanted to focus on the characters that we had. And one of my dilemmas as a storyteller taking over Season 2 was that I needed to constrict and contract the stories at the same time.
All right, well, that part makes sense. Season 1, it was convoluted, if convoluted is the right word, but there was a whole lot of characters that they wanted us to know in Season 1. So yes, Season 2 was like a reboot of Season 1, but a continuation at the same time. I get it.
Then Lennon went on to say, if given a Season 3, I do have a story in mind where I'll bring back a character from our Power OG world to intersect with Tommy Egan. He said, I think it'd be a really cool, interesting reveal. I think that character intersecting in our world would make absolute sense and would dirty things up in a really good way that would excite me to write. This is what Gary Lennon said at the end of Season 2 in regards to a mystery character returning to the Power universe in Season 3 of Power Book Force. And just from those few sentences, there's a couple clues about who this mystery character could be.
Okay, so before Getting How I Live goes into who this mystery character may be, I don't feel like he could be talking about ghosts. I mean, they said in Season 2 we might get ghosts. Nigga ain't come. This lets me think it could be any other number of people, right? It doesn't seem like ghosts. Right now, before Getting How I Live gets into it, the first thing I'm thinking is 2-bit, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section.
First off, from him asking if he wants so-and-so to come back, if he wants so-and-so to be in this. The fact that they're asking him if he wants this specific character to come back indicates...
And here's another thing. When they ask him, do you want so-and-so to come back? Do you want so-and-so to come back? Omari Hardwick ain't been talking like he thirsty to come back. You know, his thing is all about money and respect and all that other stuff. I don't think that if they talking, do you want so-and-so to come back, that they necessarily talking about Omari Hardwick as Ghost. I think it would be a different kind of conversation. Like, it would be more like, do you think we'd be able to bring him back for this? Do you think he would want to do this? Because he was the main character of the show, but let's keep going.
That it's someone we haven't seen the Power universe recently, like in Book 2. He did also confirm it was a character from Power OG and not Power Book 2. So this cuts it down to characters who were introduced in OG Power, and that likely hadn't been seen in Power Book 2. He said bringing this OG Power character to Force to intersect with Tommy would be a very interesting reveal.
To intersect with Tommy, right? we talking about intersect with Tommy. That means whoever this person coming in, it seems like this person will be a drug dealer or a cop. So we talking about people like Jenny Sullivan, people who may be a competitor to Tommy during season 3 in regards to the drug trade, at least early on in the beginning when they're first introduced. We talking about people like that.
And this is a big clue right there, using the word reveal. Why would this character appearing in Force be a big reveal? Then he said this character.
Also, before I get back to getting how I live, I feel like even though they're saying could be a big reveal, I think anybody from OG Power who we was already familiar with, we wouldn't be expecting them to be in Chicago with Tommy. So either way, whoever it is will be a big reveal.
Character in our world, talking about the book 4 Force world, with dirty things up in a really good way that would excite me to write. So it also sounds like this is a character who would be someone who moves the needle, and also someone whose storyline Lennon is excited to write. So when we break it down and take our time dissecting what Lennon said in this interview, to me it only sounds like it could be one character who's returning, and that character would be none other than Ghost. Because yeah, there is a few other characters from OG Power who could potentially be brought back in Force that could dirty things up, and even be an exciting character for Lennon to write about.
Possible. I'm hoping it's Ghost. I'm hoping it's Ghost. I ain't gonna lie. As the years go by, I'm losing more and more faith, man. I'm thinking, see, because the money not right, we not gonna see this nigga.
And I'll get to them in a minute. But what character returning from OG?
But you know what I mean? Like, Omari Hardwick, he gonna want the bag. He gonna want like 500,000 an episode, and he gonna want to be like an executive producer this time. He gonna want some kind of real stake in the show. I don't know if stars want to do that, because then that opens the lane for Joseph Sikora to want that in the future, Tariq to want that in the future. You know what I mean? I don't know if they want that.
Power would actually be a reveal. The reveal would be Ghost returning, and it being revealed that he's been alive this entire time.
Which would be
I
fire.
know a lot of people were disappointed that Ghost didn't return at the conclusion of Power Book 2 Ghost. But keep in mind, this interview came out months before Season 4 Power Book 2 aired. So since he was saying this in an interview at the back end of 2023, that likely means they had been asking him about this character returning likely since before Season 2 was actually even filmed.
Okay.
Meaning the return of this OG character had been set in motion to return in Power Book 4 for Season 3 ever since the writing filming process for Season 2 of Force.
Valid point. Fair argument.
So that could potentially also explain a lot of things, like the real reason why both Power Book 2 and Force were both canceled, and why Force Season 3 will be the last season that we see before the next spin-off, Power Legacy. Then there's also the exclusive images from Season 3 that show somebody sitting in Tommy's loft with Tommy looking at this person like he saw a ghost. Tommy also has gloves on, all black, and a gun in his hand like he's been putting in work, but doesn't have his gun drawn at this person like they're a threat.
Yeah, so that means he's familiar with whoever that is that pops up in his house. That's what that means.
Like I said in a video I made a couple weeks ago, this has to be either Ghost or Tariq. But given everything Gary...
But I disagree with him saying that he's looking at somebody like he just saw a ghost. I disagree with that. That's not the face that I see when I'm looking.
Lennon said in that interview about bringing back an OG Power character, and the fact that it would be a big reveal makes me think this is Tommy finding out that Ghost is still alive. And hopefully. That's also something that's debatable amongst Power fans, just like whether Ghost is dead or alive. Within the debates of people who think Ghost is alive, there's the debate if Tommy has known that Ghost has been alive this entire time or not. Keep it in mind that it still hasn't been revealed what was in the vanilla envelope that Kate gave Tommy from Ghost at the end of OG Power.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, shit. I forgot about this damn yellow envelope, man. I forgot about this envelope. What the hell was in that envelope?
But personally, I think it's most likely that Tommy doesn't know that Ghost is alive, based upon the fact that Tommy was holding Ghost back at that point in time, and neither were they on the best terms.
Yeah. Tommy don't know. Nobody knows except for Ramona.
Getting me to the other characters besides Ghost, who Gary Lennon could have potentially been talking about in this interview. And when I get into the other characters, based upon the details and what Gary Lennon said, it makes it seem just that much more likely that he was indeed talking about the return of none other than James St. Patrick, aka Ghost. Other than Ghost, the character or characters that Lennon was most likely talking about returning in Power Book 4 Force would be Lisa Marie Proctor, her Aunt Dolores, and the Italian.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I ain't think about them yet. If you're familiar with my channel, y'all, I already made videos saying that it's likely we could see Elisa Marie and the mob come after Tommy over the death of Joe Proctor. I said that.
In Mafia. Because everybody's been anticipating.
Wait, and then they talking about dirtying things up. This is perfect right here, matter of fact. Right now, as we speak, I believe they're talking about Lisa Marie and them all.
That this storyline would come back into play eventually because of the final scene with Tommy and Lisa Marie together when she mentions that she knows Tommy killed her dad. And Tommy ultimately replies, if she wants to come see him about it one day, then he'd understand. Not only did Tommy kill Joe, he also killed his cousin Benny, a capo in the Italian mob.
Put Benny's stupid ass down.
And the real reason Tommy left New York in the first place. But with that said, when talking about OG Power characters returning to force, we also have to keep in mind that Tommy is dead in New York also after faking his death at the end of season 1.
You right. Oh man. We gotta rule out Elisa Marie now in the mob, y'all. I changed my mind. The person who could have popped up at his house, it could be Tariq. It could be Ghost. Who else will pop up at his house though? See, yeah, man, this is tricky. This is tricky as hell, man. It's making me more think that it could be Ghost now, man. Fair argument. Tommy is assumed dead. So since Tommy is assumed dead, how would Elisa Marie and the mob know that he's alive unless they got connections to people in Chicago already?
Of Power Book 2. So in reality, ain't nobody in New York even thinking about Tommy Egan right now, unless they would find out that he's still alive. But with that said, keep in mind that Miguel and the Insane Prince gang were doing recon work on Tommy back in New York, and Nasi at one point told Tommy that Julio's boy Chico in New York said what's up. So with that said, rumors could begin to spread.
That's right. Rumors are spreading. And if the mob was really still looking for Tommy, then they would come to Chicago trying to find out if it's true.
New York, that Tommy Egan's still alive and living in Chicago. And this could be why the Savello mob is in Chicago, possibly hooking up with their connections there to find out if Tommy Egan is actually alive and living in Chicago or not.
Yep.
Other than Ghost through the Italian mob, another character that makes a lot of sense is Cash Grant, Keisha's son. Cash returning could definitely dirty things up, trying to figure out who killed his mom. But again, I asked what the reveal would be concerning Cash's return.
Yeah.
The next most likely character, if he wasn't talking about Ghost, Cash, or the Savello mob, would be 2-Bit. But again, like the Savello mob, the only reveal concerning him returning on force would be finding out that Tommy is still alive. And those aren't really reveals because us as the audience already know that Tommy's alive. But concerning 2-Bit, his character showing up in Chicago is very unlikely unless it's at the very end of Force, and at that point, I think it's either going to be Ghost or Tariq returning.
Yeah.
Because the timeline doesn't really add up. Keep it in mind that Force is already behind Book 2's timeline. That's why we definitely won't see Tariq in Force unless it's at the very end.
Yep.
And with that said, 2-Bit was seen briefly still living in New York in Season 4 Power Book 2 Ghost. And because 2-Bit's been seen a few times in Book 2 and as recently as Season 4, him showing up in Force wouldn't actually be considered a comeback for his character, in my opinion. But with that said, the same goes for the following characters, who I give a very small chance of it being who Lennon was talking about.
Okay.
But not saying these characters.
But I will say this, y'all. It's very easy for the writers to create a situation where Tariq runs into 2-Bit while he's on his way to help Tommy. And he says, you know what, 2-Bit? I'm going to help Tommy right now. Tommy's alive. Come with me. After we deal with whatever we're dealing with, right? I'll give you money. We'll be square. It's a lot of money involved. I'll give you part of my share. Boom, 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 bing, bam, boom, bing, bing.
There's won't also be in Season 3 of Force. And that's Tasha St. Patrick, Blanca Rodriguez, and Rashad Tate. But like 2-Bit, all of them have been in Book 2, so they wouldn't really be making a comeback as a character.
Yeah.
But those are really the only OG characters left who he could possibly even be talking about.
Yeah.
There's also Drago the Serb, who was under Jason Mitchell, but even if he does return, I definitely don't think that's who they were asking Lennon about bringing.
Yeah, because he ain't nobody.
And there you have it.
He ain't nobody. Shout out to Getting It How I Live, man. This was another excellent reaction video, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's God get that. That's touch my ink. That's on the dome, nigga.